Hello and welcome, Joanne, to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to talk to you today. We are going to be talking about how to find your ideal client through partner collaborations, which is a super exciting topic. And I know that it's going to be such a big strategy moving into 23, or we're already in 2023, I guess I should say, a month in. So I think it's going to be a great strategy, and I think everyone is going to have lots of questions. So if you are watching live, or if you're tuning in live or watching the replay, feel free to write your questions to us and we will answer them live for you at the end. And so it's just going to be kind of a conversational style between both myself and Joanne. So I am going to introduce her. So Joanne is a business mentor and a sales expert for coaches and holistic therapists who want to sign their first 5 clients. She's also a mom, and she has witnessed so many women doubt their ability and self-worth when building a business and stop before they have even begun. And her mission is to empower as many women as possible to create the business they want without restriction and have some fun doing it. Her motto is, it's never too late to go after what you want. You just have to decide you are going to, which I love that so much. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for that lovely intro.
Yes, of course. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your story, and what you do.
So I'm Joanne. I'm from Ireland. So I love that we get to do this across the world. So yeah, I'm a business mentor and sales expert for new coaches. And I love taking new coaches on that journey from, not knowing what to do or unsure how to build a business to seeing them generate incredible results and to have their own clients and, for their clients to have clients. It's such an amazing thing to be able to do. But outside of my business, I'm a mum. And as of 2 weeks ago today, I'm also a grandmother to the gorgeous Oliver. I'm just a big love bug for him. He is so stinking cute. He's adorable.
So exciting.
I know, it's amazing. And I do feel really blessed that I have my own business that I can spend time with them. But I always share with people my journey. My journey is an odd one because I never really wanted to be an entrepreneur. It was never my goal to be an entrepreneur. I just did what everybody else does, which is set yourself up for like a good corporate career with, what's a traditional good salary and all the benefits to it. And it's funny how life happens, because right before COVID hit was when my entire life changed, because I'd been in a long-term relationship, which wasn't good. And we've all heard those stories where it's just not a good relationship. And I'd had 2 miscarriages, and it was my second miscarriage that actually was a catapult to change for everything, because it made me stop and really evaluate what was important in my life and what did I want to spend my time doing and what did I really want to be focusing on. And being able to spend time with my family was a big one for that. And being in the corporate world didn't allow me to do that. So I set off to try and figure out what I wanted to do, and started off being a life coach, actually. And in my life coaching journey, for the first 18 months of being a life coach, every single solitary woman that I coached, it was on business. And then the majority of them were coaches and holistic therapists. So it made sense to pivot and really make that my thing and be able to support people. But what I've been able to see has created epic results for people.
Amazing. I love it. I love your story too, of realizing, that things in your life aren't working. And so you're going to make the change to make it better, right? And that's something I hear all the time, is like accidental entrepreneurship, which is so funny. But it ultimately leads us into what we want to do and what we're passionate about, and helps us create the life that we've always wanted. So thank you for sharing your story. I love it. I love it. So when it comes to, I know today we're going to talk about collaborations. So tell us a little bit about partner collaborations and why you think they're so important.
So my entire business has been built on collaborations. For the first 8 months of my business, I had a total of 1 client, which was €2,000. And I think that probably roughly equates to probably about $1,800. And who can live off that? Like, even in a month, you can't live off that, right? And particularly me being a single parent, what was that going to go towards? Nothing. The mortgage maybe, but that was about it. So it was actually Shanda Sumter who I came across, who really dove deep into collaborative work and creating events where you bring together different people that teach the same thing and have your ideal clients in it. And I just found it really interesting. And the moment I started implementing collaborations, and just like, there's multiple ways you can do it, but if we just talk about virtual events for a second, my business skyrocketed. Like, the power of working with other people. It doesn't even have to be women working with women, but the power of working with other people and having like the force of ideas, the force of people working towards the same vision, the same goal, and it being non-competitive was like enough for me. Like particularly after being in a corporate world, like, you know, people collaborate with each other. I'm sorry, what? That's like brand new information. So they're incredibly powerful and they can look any which way you want, but the community aspect of them it's insane. Should say you and I met.
Yes, absolutely. I was just going to say that. I was like, it's how we met is through collaboration, through bundles. And it is amazing because you get these friendships, right? That you build with people halfway across the world, which is so cool. I can now say I have a friend in Ireland. And I love that, right? And because entrepreneurship can also be kind of lonely sometimes, right? When we're all working from home, we don't go into an office necessarily all the time. And even if we have coworkers or a team, usually they're online, right? And so to have these collaborations and these other business-minded, entrepreneur-minded people that we could bounce ideas off of and talk with and do fun things like this, it just makes our lives that much more interesting and our businesses that much more interesting. And it also brings in a different kind of aspect to our community because the skills that you have are going to be different from the skills I have, right? And so it's nice that our communities can share both of us and share both of our brains just through that.
Exactly. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah. And there's always different things that people can add, even if it's the exact same thing in which you teach or you train or you coach on, or the services are the same. Your viewpoint of it will be different. Their viewpoint of it will be different. That like lends itself to, you know, either you thinking differently about how you do things, or giving your audience an opportunity to see, well, actually, which do you resonate with? There's no good or bad or right or wrong, but it's like, here's so many different options for you. What do you feel aligned with?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in the coaching world, right? Because there's so many coaches out there. The coaching industry has exploded. But really, what's going to draw you to someone is their personality, the way they teach, the way they coach you. Even like you said, even though they're teaching maybe the same principles, it's that connection that really draws someone together. So I love that. I love that. And what you mentioned challenges before. So what is that your favorite way to collaborate with people?
For challenges, I've done it in multiple different ways. I think doing like virtual events in terms of summits, I love that because you can go as big as you want. It can be, if you have a mind like mine that loves to play a bit and be creative, that's a fabulous way to do it. And you can reach different people across the world. So you can go really, really big like that. That is my favorite way to do it. But I'm like, doing podcasts is collaborative. Going live with somebody like this or like on Instagram is collaborative. You know, joining somebody on as being a guest expert on maybe their platform in terms of like masterminds or group programs that they have, all of that is collaborative. It's finding the one that you really, really love and that you want to do when you want to have part of your business model. But if you want to go big, these like virtual summits are definitely the best way to go, and you meet so many incredible people around when you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And is that kind of the one that you would say grew your business the most?
Yeah, it's the one that I focused all my attention on. So I would do at least 4 of them a year, and I would like I alternate them between like them being pre-recorded and live, just so I can have variety, and they're enjoyable to do both ways. But yeah, they're part of my business model. They are my lead generation for my audience, and because you get such a big influx of your ideal client all at once, you've time to breathe. That was one thing that I noticed with doing lead generation this way, is that you've got time to breathe and spend time nurturing the people that have come into your community and really get to know them and figure out what makes them tick and what they want and what they're looking for, and that you can then speak into that. Versus when you have consistent, like when you've got like dribs and drabs of coming in, you're not really getting the same chance to breathe. This is just my personal experience with it. So I love doing it this way and getting that big influx in and really getting, like I say, down and dirty with people and figuring out what it is that they want and how they want to be in community and relationship with you.
Interesting. I like that. I haven't heard that before about the influx, because it's kind of almost like we talk about batching our content, but it's almost like batching your lead generation, right? Where they all come in at once and then you can nurture them and then you move on to your next summit or your next collaboration. So that's a really interesting way to think about it.
Yeah,
when you do yours, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, just because you're in consistent flow. So like it allows your business to be in lead generation, lead nurturing, and then lead conversion at the same time while you're planning your next lead generation, so that you're in a cyclical motion. And it helps, like if somebody needs something that's very structured and likes to know what's coming next, this is a great way to do it, because you know what's coming next. You can nearly predict what your results are going to be out of it.
Yeah, I love that. And you can kind of build anticipation for those different collaborations and those different summits throughout the year, right? So people are probably still trickling in, I would assume, throughout those periods as well, but it's just that bigger push during those live promo periods for the summit.
Yeah, for sure. Plus, what people have to remember as well is when you're doing summits, you're obviously making incredible relationships like what you and I have done. So you and I were featured together on a summit. You then came onto mine, and now I'm here with you. So because you're building really lovely relationships, and it's not just a wham bam, thank you ma'am, one done, like you're really spending time with people. There is that consistent flow too, because you're constantly being visible with other people, and it's building up your expertise status, which is what you want whatever your business is. You need to have that, and for people to have that visibility of you. So it's the big influx in, and then the consistency with the visibility afterwards from all the other incredible things that you get to do with people.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not just the lead generation, but it's also the relationship building. Like you said, we've even just in our relationship, how many times we've gone back and forth in different collaborations, which is really, really cool. And their aspect of, now that we know each other and we've gotten to know each other through these different collaborations, now when I know someone who is a perfect fit for you, I can send them your way and vice versa, right? So it's now created this beautiful referral partnership also, which is neat and something to think about when it comes to collaborations. Like you said, it's not just a one-time Instagram live or a one-time we're on each other's summits, but it's this referral-based network. And if you build that with multiple people, now you have a referral basis of, 10 people that you're referring back and forth to each other. And what an amazing community that you've built for yourself.
Yeah, and to put it into perspective, the platform that events like this give you is thousands of people that are your ideal client, not just, like we've all seen the pretty huge Facebook groups that might have 80,000 or 120,000 in it. Trying to figure out in there who is your ideal client and to kind of weed your way through it. Is it worthwhile? Yes. But does it take up a long time? Absolutely. Doing something like this is giving you access to thousands of your ideal clients. Thousands. And like the percentage of them that you can actually serve is quite small. But it's giving you the opportunity to really make the huge impact that we want in our businesses, rather than constantly trying to dig away and hope for the best and try and find that needle in the haystack. This is you're creating epic results every single solitary time.
Yeah, I love that. So when you do a summit, what's kind of your process? Like, do you get them onto your summit? You say you do them pre-recorded or live, depending. And then is there kind of a nurture sequence that you send people through after the summit?
Yeah, so depending on what type of a summit I'm doing, as in like what the theme or topic is going to be, how I bring on experts, I think to probably start there is I figure out what's my intention for the actual summit, like what's the experience I want people to really feel, and then I look for people that have the personality to fit in with that, because if something is the hardcore sales, you need people that are elevated, that have like a really good energy about them, rather than people that are being flat. If it's more around mindset, you need people that are calm as well as excited, so that it's hitting different points. So I always think about what my intention is, but I'll take it from the expert plus the actual ideal client. So from the expert point of view, yeah, you're building relationships. This isn't do this for me and then that's the end of that. It is a collaborative event. So you talk about how you can collaborate with each other, so that it's a win-win for both. Because you are being gifted access to their audience. So how is it going to be mutually beneficial for them? And how we have done it, so how myself and Melissa have done it, is by giving free gifts to people that will bring more people back to our audience. And Melissa was even part of my Black Friday offer. So it goes beyond just even what the summits are. And then you stay in relationship with people after that to see how else you can support them and collaborate with them. For your audience themselves, you're obviously going to be promoting out to your own audience, and you're like Melissa promoting out for me and me promoting out for Melissa to all of our audience. After that, though, yes, you are bringing people through like a lovely nurture sequence where you're figuring out who they are and really get to know them. Like, what did they enjoy about the event? That is my favorite thing to hear from people, is like, what do they really enjoy? What, like, who do they resonate with? Who do they want to get in contact with? Who do they have more questions for? Where are they going to implement what they've learned in their lives or in their business? And I'm not doing it so that I can get stuff. It's amazing to see what people learn, what their takeaways are. And it's always stuff that you never thought it was going to be. There's always somebody in there that they've heard speaking that never thought that this was going to have the impact that it did on them. It's completely different to even what the topic was. And to hear that is incredible, because for anyone that's a business owner who's going to do virtual events like this, it helps you with your messaging. It helps you with your marketing, because you're literally getting the words of what people want to hear, of what they need to hear, because it's your ideal clients. You're only going to have experts on that will have access to your ideal clients. So the ability to expand your messaging and really hone it down through this, like a nurture sequence afterwards, is incredible. And then, like, obviously, because they're your audience, you can sell to them, whether you bring them into a challenge, a masterclass, based on what it is that they're telling you that they need. The opportunities are endless afterwards.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you brought the market research part into it, because I was thinking that as you were talking, is how incredible that is, right? You're getting it literally out of their words, or out of their mouths, sorry, and you can transfer that into emails and captions for your social media and videos and all of that stuff. And that's free market research, and you're getting a lead generation and building partnerships at the same time. So it's like a perfect combination, right? And from like my video brain, I think of, okay, you've had all these interviews just like this one, and how can you then repurpose that video content too, right? How can you chop that down, put it onto YouTube Shorts? How can you put it onto Reels? How can you put it onto TikTok? And again, you're just growing that partnership even more, because they're creating more, you're creating more content for them, and you're creating more content for your audience. So you're really, if you think about it, not just as one collaboration, but all of these little pieces of your marketing coming together, it really is a powerful strategy.
Yeah, and as well, because you've got experts sharing things that you don't know, or maybe it's a different perspective on what you do. I'm like, that can also be included in like other offers that you have, like, so if there's a part of your program that, you think this will be massively beneficial for, why not ask if you can include it in there, because it's supportive. And because there's like, say if it was me and Melissa has a freebie that she has shared with me that my audience have consistent access to. So that's constantly bringing my audience back to Melissa, my clients back to Melissa, which is a win-win for everybody. So yeah, the opportunities of what you can do afterwards with the virtual events, you have marketing, messaging, and content for so long after it. It's incredible. Like, for the work that goes into it, what you get out of it, it's like 10x. It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So for people who are watching this and maybe they're haven't done a collaboration yet, or maybe they're just thinking about doing one, what would be kind of your biggest tip to get started?
Decide on what the theme is of what you want to create. So even if it's an Instagram live or a Facebook live, or if you're doing a summit, what is the intention that you want for whatever the event is? How do you want people to feel? Do you want people to feel excited? Do you want them to feel that this is possible for them? Do you want them to feel calm? Do you want to help them release anything that they're holding on to? So figure out what is your intention for doing this and how you want people to feel. And then literally go look for people that fit into that category. So look at their personalities, look at their messaging. Do you resonate with it? You don't have to agree with it. So I want to be really clear on that. You don't have to agree with the other person's opinion, because it's good to have polarizing opinions and to have different viewpoints. But do you resonate with their energy? And if you do, literally reach out to them, send them a voice note. Emails are great, but I always send emails and will follow up with a voice note, because I think the personal touch makes all the difference, and it'll help with building up your relationship. So if you're nervous about it, it's a great way to start. And I promise you, anyone that you reach out to will 9 times out of 10 welcome this, because everybody's been there at the start. Everybody knows how scary it is and how uncomfortable it can feel, particularly if you really see somebody as an expert and you maybe don't see yourself in that light just yet. You'll see how nice people are and how much they want to be able to help. But yeah, send a voice message to people and be very clear on what your intention is and how you can create a win-win from it.
Love it. Yeah, it's true. A lot of times it's our own fear of the reach out that holds us back. But yes, you're right. 9 times out of 10, everyone is very nice. I've done a lot of partnerships in my past, and I'm sure you have as well. And everyone's always very welcoming. And as long as you think about how it's going to be a win for the other person as well, and don't go into it with selfish intentions, it's going to work out very well, not only for yourself, but also for them and for each other's audiences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, tell us a little bit. I know you have a freebie also for everyone who's watching. So can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, so it's an instant access masterclass to support people with finding and signing their first clients. So in there is a little bit of a talk about how you can create your own virtual events and how you can use collaborations to support you. I find that people getting over the line with their first 5 clients is where they find it the most challenging. So this is a step-by-step of what to do. If you implement it in exactly the order in which I share it, you will be able to find and sign your first clients.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I have put all of the details in the links below the description of this video. So make sure to go over and check that out, and become part of Johanne's audience, because I'm sure you're going to get so much amazing information. So thank you so much for coming on this live with us. And if anyone is watching the replay, make sure to post your comments below and I'll make sure to answer them and get you in touch with Johanne. And of course, yes, download that link or download that freebie so you can be a part of her email list as well. And yeah, thank you again so much.
Thank you for having me on. I've loved this. I love talking about this topic. So thank you.
I know, it's great. We could probably go on for another half hour. All right, we will